couldn't be here. It is a Jewish holiday tonight. So thank you guys who are here. And just thought we'd spend a little bit of time tonight really for you guys, just talking about some fun things that are happening. We're wrapping up the month of September really strong and getting ready to launch into October, into a new month. So.
Absolutely. You guys are doing great out there. Really appreciate all the hard work. And again, I love that video. At the gym today, I felt like a couple of those guys ready to just kind of pass out. But again, it's so important for us to kind of make sure that we do life together and make sure that we're supporting each other. So that's what this is about tonight, supporting one another, and just so grateful that everybody's on that can be on. So let's go.
Let's go. So we thought we'd start first with the 90-day challenge, and really excited to share, you guys. I just looked at, now registrations, official registrations are coming in as people fill out their Google Doc. But we had 353 people reply that they were going to this challenge. So if you have people, if you've got clients and some non-clients, put something in the comments. Let us know maybe how many people are joining you with it, just so we can get a feel for what's going on. But it launches tomorrow. So I really want to just take a minute and make sure that you guys are clear on what's happening next and answer any questions. And the good news is it is pretty simple at this point. We do the heavy lifting for you at this point. What we really ask you to do up front is invite to this, and really inviting with the hopes and the intentions that people will eventually come on as clients with us. Have you guys liked the fact that we opened it for non-clients this time? This is a tool for you guys, all right? So we want to make sure that you're real clear that what we're not doing is just saying, sure, you can do it, no strings attached, just hop in, have fun. That you really want to go hip to hip with them during this is like anybody that said yes to this challenge is now on your candidate list as a potential client, or maybe they were already a potential client and you were able to at least move them forward this one more step. Fortunately, we talked to a lot of people about this challenge. Most of them decided to come in as clients once we really talked about the benefits of it all. But I do have a couple that came in as non-clients. And my full intention is every single week to be touching base with them to see how they're doing, how are their results, especially for the weight loss, and just continue to remind them of their options. So we would encourage you to do the same around that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned in my video the other day, again, the challenge, clients or prospects are actually getting probably only about 20% of the entire program. So again, make that clear and just explain to them that, clients that are full in, all in, what they receive as a result of that, when they ask or, they're communicating what else is there from that standpoint. So again, all an opportunity to bring people to the full program.
And re-engage your current clients, inactive clients, and you can still invite. That's the number one thing I want to let you know. People can still join until October 14th. So they won't quite get 90 days, but 75 will be a good, good shot for them when they come in at that point, if they come in. So, so keep inviting, keep adding. And right now we're really starting to market just based on momentum. When we have this many people a part of something, people want to join it. They're like, wow, there's something to that if that many people are doing it. So don't be afraid to continue to promote it, use the numbers that we have. And just a couple quick things. There was a post that was done today in Eat, Live, and Be Optavia. And in there, thank you to Meg Johnson, who created a Google Doc for our clients to join in on. And what we want them to do is actually fill out and register on that Google Doc. And we're just going to register who's coming in, whether or not they're a current client, and what their weight loss goal is, or what their goals are. It doesn't even have to be weight loss. And then there was also a link that they can print themselves the daily checklist. So that is there as a Google Doc as well. And really encourage you guys. So we've got a lot of activity going on in there. A lot of people are going to be posting. The Facebook group, I encourage you to make it an active part of your coaching practice. This is like your client support function. An active part of your practice is to get in there and be watching the comments, responding to people, but watch for your clients, watch for those potential clients, what they're putting in there. And then there could be other posts that are posted throughout the day. Somebody who is not a client might post and ask a question about the program or something like that. So be on the lookout so that you can just be supportive and encourage, and maybe give a heads up in our coach group, like, hey, Susie Smith is asking some questions. Who invited her? Just so that we can really pay attention to that. And then watch how your clients elevate and start sharing and supporting and giving other that, because they are your next coaches. And watching and paying attention to what they're doing is
yeah. You mentioned it earlier. I mean, just by us getting getting the information out about the challenge, it did create an impact for us this last week as far as new clients starting on the program. So again, it's out there. It's good news. 353 people, and again, we know that you're going to do it in the right way as far as encouraging people for the full program, of course, if they need it. And we all think that because they're in the program, they do need the program, or in the challenge, they need the program. So again, good stuff.
Well, we all know everybody needs Optavia because it's not a weight loss program. So, all right. So what kind of questions? Let's take some time just to make sure that you are up to speed and whatever kind of questions you have. And if you can just unmute or raise your hand rather than put it in chat, we can all benefit from the questions and answers.
Dee, I've got one.
Yeah, Beth.
I've got some people who are non-clients, and they're interested in the whole, healthy exercise, healthy recipes, how to drink more water. Are we going to be addressing that sort of things in the challenge?
We'll have a daily post every single day, and the daily post will hit on the 5 components in terms of the 5 commitments. So and what's really awesome is that this week's Habits of Health call is on healthy eating every 2 to 3 hours. So that's Wednesday's post is about that, with an invitation for them to watch the webinar so that we can start to build that foundation really for our clients and for non-clients. But there'll be a post about water. There'll be a post about gratitude. There'll be a post about the benefits of starting your day with intention. And then continue to utilize. This is our team effort. Remember, it's for all of us. So if you want to post some recipes out there or do some different things, just in the general page, feel free to do so. Because again, our page is a collaborative effort.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it a good idea too for them to be added to the newsletter as well? Because we have recipes and stuff like that in there. And so for a longer term, once the challenge is over, they'll still have that connection and get your newsletter from that perspective. So.
Yeah, so that was, if you missed that, Larry was saying anybody you had joined the challenge that is not a client already, have them go ahead, get their email address and put them on your weekly Habits of Health newsletter. And there's a recipe every week in that. So they're going to get the health tips and the recipes in that as well.
Good. Good question up here.
From Carol. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So Carol asked how best to coach non-clients when not using fuelings or books. Well, again, the key thing there is eating 6 times a day, eating smaller meals. So again, just basically taking the 5-in-1 and sharing that they should eat 6 smaller meals. And you can share with them some of those, what that meal looks like. It's protein, it's vegetables, and again, just drinking plenty of water from that standpoint. As far as the books and fuelings, you can educate them as much as you want to. I would just be careful, right? So these are not full clients. I don't want you to necessarily spend a lot of time on the phone with them unless you think that's going to go somewhere from that perspective. You don't want to overcoach them more than you would coach a normal client. From that standpoint. So give them little tips. You can take some tips from your books and share that with them, but I wouldn't go so far. Again, your goal is about 20% of the program. So again, they're getting access to the community, they're getting access to our education, and again, a partial access to a coach from that standpoint. Good question. Thank you.
Dee, I have a question. It's Carol Quintero. So you had mentioned in one of your messages, just call the person, hey, what are your goals? And, I want to see if I can help you and so forth. But I'm under the impression that we actually should do a full health assessment with our non-clients. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I don't usually even use the language for anybody. I don't use the term health assessment, even though I'm going to. I think it sounds kind of official, might be a little scary for them. So I just call, like, anybody who said interested or messaged me, I'm going to be like, hey, Carol, I just need a few minutes of your time. Just want to be able to hear what your goals are, be able to share what you can expect in the challenge. And then I just started just like I do a health assessment. I said, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what's going on. What attracted you to this challenge? What would you like? What would you like your outcome to be? What would it mean to you if that happened? So I just kind of go through the questions. I do it pretty quick. And then I say, well, we're going to be touching on a lot of things in this. We're going to talk about your hydration, exercise, whatever. Where are you with that? How are you doing in the area of sleep? So I just run through it pretty quickly with them. And then at the end, I'll say, knowing whether or not they're a client, I'll say, given your goals for weight loss, would you like to hear about what we can offer for that could expedite your results?
And what if somebody has health issues where you're not really sure? So I'll give you an example. I spoke to somebody that responded to the Habits of Health Challenge. And when I did the health assessment with her, turns out that she has multiple sclerosis, and she's on some heavy duty medications. And I really didn't know if she was going to be able to become a client and do the fuelings, or for that matter, even do the program, because she has some very serious issues. So in a circumstance like that, what do you suggest, since this is someone that is not yet a client that says that they want to do this when we're really not sure if they can? How do you suggest finishing that and leaving the possibility?
Yeah. So, I think anytime we have a question like that, like, I would probably treat it just like I would if they were calling me about the program, and just say, well, tell me a little bit more about your condition. And, I'm just curious if you'd like to do the program. We've got a couple of different options. We've got a fast plan. That's a fat burn plan. We've got a healthy eating plan. That's a kind of a blended hybrid. We could call our nutrition support area and figure out which one's going to be best for you, because I couldn't even imagine that they wouldn't be able to at least do the 3 and 3 on some level. But just so I have known people with autoimmune diseases, including degenerative ones like MS, who have seen significant improvement. I've done great on the program and seen significant improvement. In fact, some it going into remission. Not that we can claim any of that, because that's not what any of our clinical studies have been on. So just remember, whatever I just said was not compliant. But we have seen results not typical. People have incredible results to some of these diseases.
I was just using that as an example. Thank you.
Yeah, great. It's a good one. Stephanie.
I noticed that one of the things that it says that the clients would get is access to a virtual nutritionist or dietitian. Can you tell me more about that?
So, we offer we have a nutrition support line really available mostly to our clients. So I think if somebody had a question about the program, or like Carol's situation, their eligibility, that we could do a 3-way call with our nutrition support area for something like that.
Good questions.
Tomorrow will be day 1, and so we'll repost the Google Doc link. We'll repost the same links, and then kind of the launch kickoff, asking people to put their goals in the comments, what they're most excited about. The real thing, guys, we've got 90 days of this. So it's going to go on for a while, right? 90 days. So we need everybody to pitch in. We're going to drive the post. So we've got several of us that are going to drive the daily post. And so myself and Lauren and Meg and Julie and Shauna and Frank, we're all going to take responsibility for that. But if you can help out by replying to comments, making people feel welcome, keeping the banter and the interaction going, it's gonna go on for a while. At first, it's real frenzy, but sometimes it starts to tick off. So the more you guys can help, the more energy we'll have, the more successful that everybody will be, and the more fun you'll have with it as well.
Yeah, and like Beth mentioned, if there's a topic that comes up with one of your prospects that we haven't covered yet, by all means, throw that out there, and we'll try to work that in. Again, as this progresses, there will be some repetitiveness. We may talk about hydration a couple times. We may talk about, just lifestyle and mindset several times as well. So again, if we miss something, by all means, just ping us and say, hey, have we considered whatever it may be? So
yeah, totally open to ideas.
Good points.
I wanted to ask, will we get into coaching much? I have one that she's doing it because she's really wanting to understand the program with the possibility of coaching. So obviously I can't, and I'm doing weekly calls with all 4 of these. Oh, it's interesting. All 4 of these are from like my beginning calls. And so like I know one, usually cost is something. Some are doing Weight Watchers, some are doing different things like that. But one in particular, we've done a coach call with her, and she was like, I just want to find out more about the program.
So I just had to mute somebody. So I think I would definitely be going a little closer and hip to hip with the one you think might come on board as a client or a potential coach. And I think if we can get those individuals, especially like her, on a Wednesday night call where there's the habits of health and then they do the transformation stories after that shares about the coaching, I would use those kind of tools as best you could.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just add
because all 4 of mine are already on my newsletter. I mean, that's all these, but I'm thrilled that I love that we're doing this because they can now see what the program offers.
Yeah, and
so
I was going to offer, I'm sorry, Carol, I was going to offer that, again, the fact that they've been around a while and they're still seeking you out, okay, and this challenge out, I would kind of call them out in a nice way on that and say, well, hey, we've been talking a while and, I just can't help but think that what you've been doing isn't working, and kind of, again, drawing them into the program that way. So, again, a little tough love there.
Yeah. No, and I understand. I mean, there may be 1 or 2. One, her husband just went on deployment yesterday. They don't have finances. I mean, I really do understand. I mean, she would love to do it, but now I would love for her to coach too, and that would help her.
To explore,
so that's where I'm hoping this can maybe open up her eyes a little bit with that.
Right. It'll be fun to see where that goes. Awesome.
Hey, it's Carol Quintero again. Sorry, may I ask another question?
You bet.
What if somebody is interested in being on the challenge but is not on Facebook?
They're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time because we're doing all the communication, is within the Facebook group. So this really is about them being exposed to our community and being in and out. I just had a husband and wife, and the husband didn't want to do Facebook, but the wife said, you have to, because she's been in part of it. So she created an account for him, and she said, you don't have to friend request anybody but me, and we'll put you in there. But I would recommend they either get an account and just go into it for that, but don't spend any of your time trying to copy paste messages or do any of that, because it's just going to be a lot of work for you, and they're not really going to get the full effect anyway without the interaction.
Yeah, and they can open up a Facebook account and really do nothing out there. Just they don't have to post, they don't have to do anything. They can just watch if they want as part of the challenge, just be a part of that group and just watch from that perspective.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Continue to use the questions that we have. We have a post that's tagged in our coach group about the challenge. So as things go on, just continue to use that post for that. So 2 other quick topics. So we've got the month of October starting, which means it's our time to do our monthly action plan. And that is for anybody who is a senior coach or above. And I'm real excited that Lauren Humans has said that she's going to do a training for anybody who wants to be on it. She's going to do a Facebook Live this Wednesday in our coach group, Coaches Out for Change. And Lauren, give us a wave there. It's going to be Wednesday at noon, correct? Eastern time?
Yeah. So Wednesday at noon, and it'll probably just be able to be about 45 minutes at most, but just want to share, I know for a lot of my team, there's been a lot of questions about the practicalities of filling that out, and I had some challenges in the beginning with figuring that out, so I just want to share things that helped me, how to navigate even on Optavia Connect to find the numbers that you need to place in there. So great for people who are new and people who maybe just are still navigating and figuring it out. So And it'll be great because then you can tag your coaches in there, and they can learn that way as well.
Yeah, it'll be a Facebook Live. So those Facebook Lives always stay on the news feed. So it'll be in there for anybody that happens to miss it. We can use it in the future. So thank you, Lauren, for doing that. And Julie, you were going to share, because the map has been such a valuable tool for you, and especially if you, now that you're coaching coaches, how it helps you as a business coach and how it helps you for your own business. So why would they want to be on that training or get the map done?
Yeah, I think it's just so helpful. Like Katie texted hers over today, and I can already look at it and know, okay, how can I help guide Katie over the course of the month? So it's neat to see what everybody's goals are. So if you have coaches on your team, you want people to do it so you know what you're helping your coaches work towards. Otherwise, it's like we're all like blind leading the blind. So I think it's just so valuable to know that ahead of time. And then when you're doing your own map, you can help fill that your own map out because you know where you're going and what your teammates want, right? So it works. It's a great team effort.
So a monthly, thank you, Julie. A monthly action plan is just that. It's really defining and taking a look at where are you as you start a new month? How did you finish the month of September? If you're looking to grow your business, identifying what your goals are for the next month, and then all the actions in between. And it's a working document. So anybody who is senior coach or above is encouraged to do this. Really, I mean, important. If you, like Julie said, we don't want to be the blind leading the blind or not knowing where we're going.
Yeah, monthly action, we say, are we growing our business or are we staying the same? I really, for 8 years now, the staying the same really never happens, right? You're either growing or you're drifting, right? You rarely stay the same because you have clients coming on, you have clients going off program, whatever may be happening. So, part of me says, factor that into your map, and try. I know it's not easy, and I'm a numbers guy, so I kind of like to dig into this. I drive her nuts on it. But you've got to kind of figure out, okay, on a month-to-month basis, how many new clients have you brought in? How many clients have stopped ordering or have drifted away? And try to figure out what that percentage is, because that'll help you with your map, especially if you're trying to maintain, right? We do know coaches that are saying, I'm good, I still have a full-time job, I want to manage about, maybe 5 clients. Well, that's great, and we want you to manage those 5 clients. But what then ends up happening is those 5 clients, you're going to have 2 or 3 drift away, and then you only have 2 or 3 clients. And so how does that work? And percentages really don't lie. I mean, that's my saying always. So kind of watch your business and try to figure out percentage. What are you going to lose and what are you going to gain, and what does that number represent to you? And that's a good way, I think, to really help your business and figure out how many clients you need on an ongoing basis to keep your business where it is. Now, if you want to grow, that's a different story, but I just want to share that.
Mm-hmm. Helps you identify who your coach candidates are as well, because we know within that. So there's a lot of great stuff, and I know that Lauren will cover a lot of it. And as we take this last 5 minutes, as you're wrapping up the month of September, as you're looking ahead, we're all in different places. Some of us are super excited that we're growing and things are going great. Others, maybe not so much. Maybe our energy is a little off, or our mood, and we're just kind of seeing it being reflected in our business or with the coaches on our team. So I've asked Frank and Shauna Davis to speak for a few minutes. They have certainly worked through some growth and discouragements and things along the way, but they have really mastered some what I call emotional intelligence, really keeping their priorities straight and being creative with actions to help them with their mindset and their business. So I don't know who wants to go first, but Frank and Shauna.
Hey everyone, thanks Steve for letting us do this. I think the shift for me was I started adding a ton of people to my Facebook page. I had always struggled with that, adding friends. I mean, I came in with like 100 and something friends. And I'm really excited because I have almost 1,000 now. And Frank's like, oh, that's nothing compared to what I have. But for me, it's great. So I'm just adding. And what I ended up doing, I kind of went down a rabbit hole with that. And I ended up with a lot of ladies who have their own home-based businesses, jewelry businesses, makeup, skincare. And I had an opportunity to start looking at their pages and what they're doing. And I got to tell you, it was eye-opening because a lot of them, this is all they post is their business. And I got really tired of going to their pages really quick, and I could never find anything that I really of value to comment on. So it was I got it finally, what they always teach, adding value to your page. I think, at least I think I got it. I think I'm doing pretty good with it now. So that was a major shift for me, seeing that. And I realized then how important it is to not just put, you know, yes, I'm still doing the before and afters and I'm still doing things with our business, but to do more lives, which was scary for me. But, you know, once you've done a few, it's not so bad. And I think what helped me with the lives was planning it ahead of time. And just for me, I have to kind of plan what I'm going to do and have, you know, a topic, and might do a little research on that topic, but then I feel better about going into the live. But that intentional posting, I think it's been really big for me. It's really built my confidence up, and it makes me feel so much better about my page and what I'm putting out there now. So for me, that's kind of got me renewed and excited again.
I encourage you guys to go over and take a peek at Shauna's page, and also Frank, just to get an idea of the different types of things that she's posting, but a lot of personal stuff and thoughts and things like that, so that she is providing a lot of value and content. So that was a really cool shift. So thank you for sharing that. All right, Mr. Davis.
Yeah, so thank you for giving us a minute or two here, Dee and Larry. You know, we've had some great success with our business, and Sean and I are extremely excited about our future and about all the people that we're helping. But everybody kind of looks at us, and you know, somebody made a comment the other day on one of my posts, and it was actually on a Facebook Live, and said, "I had no idea that you were not." I think they said you weren't confident. And you know, even though I try to portray confidence all the time, it's something I've had to struggle with. And even though we've had success, Sean and I, we get a lot of no's. We get a lot of rejection, and that's discouraging, and it's frustrating. So I don't want people to think that, you know, you've had great success, you must not get the no's or the rejection I get. We get a lot of no's. We've had people that I've done a health assessment at 6 o'clock at night. And they say, I'm cooking dinner right now. Can you call me back at 8 o'clock? And I'm going to sign up and get my kit. And I call them back at 8. They don't answer the phone. And I never hear from them again. You know, that's happened over and over and over. Sean and I recently had 6 clients cancel their premiere in 1 week.
Wow.
In 1 week. That's discouraging. That's frustrating. So we go through the same discouragement and the same frustrations that you have. But what gets us through that process is, for me anyways, is I have some very short, specific goals that I go after. And I'm like Larry, mine are numbers related. So I look at numbers, and I don't necessarily look at ranks, or I don't look at anything. I look at certain numbers. I have a goal for frontline sponsoring. I have a goal for volumes. I'm looking at numbers. And so for me, I have to do the action. And my action is no different than you. I just do it every day. And I've got to be honest with you. There's days I don't feel like doing it. There's days that I'm scared to do it. And talking about that fear, I was very, very afraid to do on Facebook Live. I've only done a couple of them since I've been a coach. So last week, I got on Facebook and I said, I'm going to do 7 lives in a row for 7 days. And that just kind of blurted out. And like, oh my gosh, what did I say? So now that I committed to that, I did 7 lives in a row. Today was my last one. And you can tell, I'm not the most eloquent speaker. Okay. Look at me. I mean, right? I don't look the greatest. I don't dress the greatest. So they're not the greatest Facebook Lives, but I did it. So I just get out there and try to be real. And one other thing I do is I eat training videos. I watch all the training videos I can watch, whether it be these videos or the boot camps, or Accelerate Your Boot Camp, Accelerate Your Climb, the Level Up, Doug Wood, Corey Baker, Terry Miller, Ray Lloyd. I watch them all over and over and over. That's how I spend my time. I hope that helps somebody.
Frank, that was awesome. Thanks for sharing. And you know, you do look like you know, I don't know male movie stars that well, but, you know, Ryan Gosling or something, you know, so I know people mistake you for that. So, but, you know, no, thanks for sharing, because we all go through that. And you know, it's just, it's part of business, not just our business. It's every business. I'll share real quick. I know we're over, but we have a new client just came on. He was recently laid off from a major hotel chain. Okay, that major hotel chain right now in this economy, their numbers stink, right? And so we look at that and we say, you know, it's like, it's just happening to me. Well, no, it can happen to anybody in business when you're trying to acquire clients, maintain clients, or grow market share. So please keep that in mind. You know, we need to always, whatever business is out there, you need to acquire clients, maintain clients, and sometimes it does get difficult. It's not just us. We want to think it's us, but it's not just us. So that's nothing.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you guys for being on tonight. Thank you, Frank and Shauna and Julie, and thank you, Lauren, for who's going to do our training for us on Wednesday. I think when we know we're all in this together and we can have this, the insight from people who are at different stages of the game, it just makes such a difference. So we're excited for you guys. Next Monday night is our celebration call. We had a lot of new senior coaches rank up and new managers that were there, you know, first. So come support them as they are growing their business. And if you're new to us as a coach, we welcome you and encourage you to be on so that you can get a taste for what we love doing, which is helping other people.
And one more thing, I know people are jumping off, but this coming Saturday in Charlotte, Julie and her team have an event going on at 9 o'clock. So shout out for Charlotte. If you have friends, families, colleagues in the Charlotte area, we would love to, you know, just welcome them and, again, just teach them about our program and what we're doing here on the team. So, again, Charlotte people, just shout out, and I know we can help them.
All right, sweet. Have a good night, you guys. Thanks for being here.
Have a super week.